Let's talk about the recall election. This video is brought to you by Beaten Black and Blue. Beaten Black and Blue, my very first book. Go get it. Link is in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Comment on this video. Share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the recall election in California. I'm just going to make a quick statement about this. It's not going to be a long video. I'm not going to waste your time. This is very cut and dry and clear. I don't know why people are incredibly surprised that Gavin Newsom did not get recalled. I have to break it to. I know some people are not going to like this, but I have to just tell the truth. Statistically proven, there are more registered Democrats in the state of California than Republicans. A good number more. That's like Texas. That's like Florida. There's a significant amount more of conservative-leaning, thinking people than there are liberal-minded people in Florida, Texas, and then when you look at California, the reverse. There's more liberal-leaning people instead of conservative-leaning people, like I mentioned before. I don't know if I said it correctly, but if I messed it up, y'all know what I'm talking about. But when you look at California, you say people are so outraged. Oh, they voted no. Think about this for a minute. I want y'all to think about this to rationalize it. If you were in Texas and people were upset with Governor Abbott, and they wanted to recall him, right? Because there was plenty of times when people in Texas wanted to recall him. I don't know if they have recall laws in Texas. Just say that they did. Now, think about this for a minute. You have Governor Abbott, who Republicans are sick of, and they want to recall him. Do you think that they're going to push yes to recall him and vote for a Democrat? I mean, this is what we're up against. Because the majority of people in Texas are conservative. They're going to get rid of a Republican governor and then go and pick a Democrat. It will never happen. You're not going to convince Republicans that Democrats are worth a dime. I don't care what you think. The same thing in California. You're not going to convince Democrats that Republicans are worth a dime. They're not going to get rid of Gavin Newsom to put in what they think is a white supremacist or a white supremacist in blackface or whatever they said Larry Elder was. They're not going to do that. I want you to understand that. So understand that this was an uphill battle from the very beginning. If it was me and I lived in California, if I had an opportunity, I would just leave. There's no need to try to fight in California for Republican values because it's done, ladies and gentlemen. I could be wrong about this, but I'm just looking at it for what it is. Democrats will never have Texas. Democrats they will probably never get a vote again in Florida. In the presidential, they're not going to run it as in the presidential election. Never. I mean, there's places in this country that will never go blue, ever. And you got to understand that the reverse is true for some of these liberal areas. People in our country think differently, and so all the people that think that abortion is good and they want everybody to pay more taxes, they want the government to give them everything and everything's going to be free. They typically move and gather and live in similar areas. They're going to always exist amongst us. This is not a matter of if they only knew the truth, they would be a Republican. Some people are just dumb, and they don't care about American values. They don't care about the Constitution. They want to eradicate it. So in the California election, I feel sorry for people of California, but I'm not surprised that they didn't vote out Newsom. And a lot of people want to say, there's fraud, there's fraud, there's fraud. Now, everything is going to be fraud now. What happened in Trump in 2020 is questionable, in my opinion. Is there fraud? I cannot confirm or deny, but it's questionable. In this election, this is not questionable. They said at least 400,000 Republican votes were deleted. I mean, delete 1 million Republican votes. You would have to delete 2 million Republican votes for it to even be close. So I think that Democrats just showed up because they hate Republicans more than they love their own freedom. And that's something that we're going to have to understand. And I'm going to say something very controversial, and I want to give credit to Larry Elder because shout out to Larry Elder for getting multiple million people to turn out. I don't even know if that sounds right. But he got a lot of people to turn out. I think he got like 2 million votes or something, or close to 2 million votes. So shout out to Larry Elder. And then also I want to bring up another point because the biggest winner out of the Republican Party was Larry Elder. The biggest loser out of the Republican Party was Major Williams, who wasn't even on the ballot, wanted you to do a write-in. We're going to make history. We're going to make history. So you need to understand the difference between a person who ran, joined in the 11th hour and still got 1.8 or 2 million votes, and somebody who was the first gubernatorial candidate to get in the race and probably didn't even get 1,000 votes and probably is going to run again. We're going to make history. Watch out for these fraudulent people. But let me say this, in addition to what I was talking about with Larry Elder, shout out to Larry Elder, and what I was talking about at the beginning with understanding the demographics. We are going to have to start really thinking strategic instead of thinking with our emotions and looking at party line being Republican versus Democrat. Because there are going to be some times where Republicans, and people are going to be mad at me, and I would love to hear your feedback on this because I'm open for constructive criticism. There's going to be a point in time where we may have to vote for moderate Democrats instead of voting for Republicans. I'm just keeping it real. And I'll give you an example in the state of Arizona. Kyrsten Sinema is a moderate Democrat. People would often categorize her as an independent. She side with Trump on things. She don't side with Trump on things. She stand up for a very balanced perspective in the state of Arizona. She's not as bad as I thought she was going to be. I thought she was going to be a raging leftist, and she's not. She's one of the ones that stand up, like Joe Manchin and people like that. She stand up against her own party when it's radical and illegitimate. Now, I would vote for her before I vote for a rhino. I would vote for her before I vote for an illegitimate Republican candidate, somebody that's just grifting, that's going to get in there and do nothing anyway. So we need to start being strategic, because when you look at some of these races, there's no way a Republican is going to win. There is no way a Republican is going to win. Never. You're talking 30, 40 years of Democrat control. What you need to do is slow the bleeding. And so if you have candidates up there, you have the far left liberal Democrats, or you have a more moderate person that is at least trying to be on both sides, or be reasonably on both sides. Like I said, Kyrsten Sinema, and I forget the lady from Hawaii. Her name just skipped my mind. But just like the lady from Hawaii, she seems to be a little closer to the middle than being a far left extremist. And I feel like people should be willing, Tulsi Gabbard, people should be willing to support individuals like that more so than trying to support a Republican that they're never going to win. And I'm not saying there's a Republican that won't win against Tulsi Gabbard. What I'm saying is that if you find yourself in a district or in a situation where a Republican is going to take $5 million and not even make it anywhere. Kimberly Klacik took $8 million or so, how many million? I don't know, how $6 million or something she raised money and got nowhere in Baltimore. You got, like I said, people like, and I'm not going to even count him because that dude's a complete fraud. Major Williams, whoever donated money to him, you should be wanting a refund because he wasn't even on the ballot and he didn't even get 1,000 write-ins. I forget his name. I'm forgetting everybody's name because they're completely irrelevant. It's just a little dude running in California against Maxine Waters. That dude is $20 million or something that they raised and didn't even get more than 40% of the vote. Like, you're wasting your money, conservatives. You're wasting your effort and energy voting for somebody or raising money for somebody that absolutely have no chance of winning. Absolutely have no chance of winning. Let me slur my speech. Stop wasting our money and time and effort. Maxine Waters is in office. He's a deranged lunatic. If there is a person who can come up against Maxine Waters that's a little more moderate, Republicans should get behind that person. I'm just saying. Because you're going to waste your money with a Republican. You're going to waste your money. So anyway, I thought I'd make some commentary on that. It's very sad what happened in California, but people need to stop making excuses. Democrats run California. Illegals run California. They're in there by the groves. And as soon as they give a sweeping amnesty, you can forget about it in California. The best thing you can do is vote local, and for your local representatives in your city. In these major cities, of course, they're never going to go red. Voting for constituency or voting, the constituency need to vote for people that are in a smaller city council, stuff like that, mayor of these smaller cities, and continue to vote red because that can benefit you as well. The state is blue, just like Texas is red. I mean, are we forgetting about that? Texas is red. California is blue. It's going to always be blue. You know, maybe in the past it wasn't, but it ain't going back. The school systems, propaganda, promising everything, delivering nothing, all of that is a winning strategy for brain dead people in America today. And that's why Democrats continue to win time and time again, is because Who don't want free stuff? These people that live in the inner cities a little bit below the median income, if they promise you free stuff and promise you the world and promise they're gonna punish the rich for you, they're gonna vote for these people. Republicans will never say anything like that, so you're not gonna get votes of poor people, because poor people would rather you give them something than for you to provide opportunities for them. I'm just being honest. Not all, but I would argue that majority of them. If you say, hey, free education, they'll jump on free education. If you say, no, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to earn your education, why would I do that when I can get it for free? Okay, anyway, like and subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Make sure you get my book, Beating Black and Blue. You can find it on the website or the links in the description section. The signed copies are available right now. When they run out, I'm done signing signed copies for a while, because there's thousands of them, and I think I'm gonna be done with them. And then you have the non-signed copies on Amazon, which I prefer people buy the non-signed copies on Amazon because it boosts our numbers. I really want this book to be New York Times bestseller, so we'll see how it work out. But I really want it to be a blessing to you guys. We'll have the audio version of the book as soon as I'm done signing. Then I'm gonna go to the next phase of reading the book for the audio version of it. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.